Hi, everybody. Hi, yogis. Linsey B. Thank you so much for joining me for your practice today. We will start in ragdoll pose at the top of your mat. Feet will be a lot further apart than normal, maybe even off of your mat. You have all this gorgeous space to take up. So just to come down and to leisurely drape between your thighs. Small break in your knees, possibly. And then join me for a big breath in. And exhale completely. Begin to breathe up the continuous infinity loop of breath. Cresting at the top, not pausing, and just finding that nice slow exhale that rounds at the bottom. And without even thinking about it, continues and loops into the next. Invite your mind to be where the body is. Invite the spirit to come out to play. Invite all layers of yourself to join here in unison. Yoga is a practice of wholeness, of really oneness, unity, coming together. The word yoga actually means to yoke, to join together. And a lot of these ancient texts speak to the fact that we feel and endure suffering when parts of ourselves feel incongruent or separate from one another. If our mind is one place, or our body is another, perhaps we feel dis-ease on some level. Same thing as a community, right? If we feel separate, there's suffering. And so this whole yoga is just a process of remembering that oneness, that we all come from the same source, and to bring everything back into alignment. I give you the intention today of oneness, of wholeness, of unity. But if something specific calls to you that I have not spoken to, perhaps you dedicate your practice to that instead. Breathe in your intention. Exhale all the way back out. Breathe in sunflowers, one direction. I don't care which. Just stretch up and over. Look through your arm bones at the top. And then as you exhale, cascade down the other side, fully disengage through your neck at the bottom. Let's do one more time on this side. Inhale on the way up, breastbone comes up toward the light. And exhale, reach away from your hips all the way back down. Other direction. Inhale with me. And exhale, other side. That breath is just a gorgeous way to thread mind, body, everything together. Last time on this side, breathe in, stretch. And exhale, other side. Gather your feet now. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, mountain pose. As we exhale, just take a nice little side bend over to the right. Breathe in, center. Exhale, side bend to the left. Breathe in, mountain pose. Sun salutation, letter A. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, halfway lift. And exhale, forward, a fold. Breathe in, standing split. Lift your left leg up. Exhale, low lunge. Breathe in, straighten your legs, look back in space. As you exhale, lunge very deeply in. Your back knee might even touch down. Breathe in, three-legged dog, right leg up and back. Exhale, bend, twist, open your top knee and just feel such a nice stretch. Breathe in, three-legged dog. Exhale, plank, lower all the way to your belly. Breathe in, take a back bend of your choice, just something that feels good. Exhale, diminish. Breathe in, hips toward heels. We'll open up our sacrum. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in, heels will lift once more. Exhale, travel forward, top of mat. Breathe in, halfway lift with me, please. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, mountain pose. Exhale, side bend to the right. Breathe in, mountain. Exhale, left. Breath in, mountain. Exhale, fold gently and softly. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Ground down for your left foot. Inhale, standing split. Right leg lift. Exhale, touch down. Breathe in, stretch into your hamstring. Exhale, lunge in, a lot. Breathe in, three-legged dog. Left leg up. Exhale, bend, twist, open. Breathe in, three-legged. Exhale, plank, lower all the way to your belly. Breathe in, back bend that feels awesome. Exhale, come all the way down. Breathe in, hips toward heels. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's just pause in downward facing dog for a moment and notice how it feels. I'd like you to separate your heels just a little bit more than you probably currently are. I see a lot of sickling in of our heels. Let's see if we can't stretch through all parts of our hamstring. And as you push your heart up and back, perhaps you load the back side of your body with a little bit more than 50% of your weight. This can be an isolating time. I know people who have reached out to me doing their home practices have been so grateful, but it can be very isolating, can it not? And it's nice to remember that this ground below you, the ground you touch through your mat, there's other people, other humans in your community who care about you, who still remember you at home, that you're one with, whether you know it or not, whether we can see each other in person or not. And so just feel this ground beneath us that connects us, this sense of community, even through a virtual power life. Take a big breath in. Breathe out. Breathe in, right leg high. As we exhale, runner's lunge. Breathe in, straighten your legs a lot. Exhale, lunge in, back knee down. Breathe in, bend your left knee. As you exhale, right hand to right thigh. Let's just breathe here for a moment. You'll notice that usually I bind here. It's a little early in practice. I could if I wanted to, but I'm getting a pretty good stretch if I take my mind's eye to my front left thigh already. I don't really need to force that. You could even dip your left hip down a little bit more to get some feeling down in there. Ooh, this is a nice one. Awesome. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, let's come to low lunge. Breathe in, reverse warrior with a tricep stretch. Pause and breathe. I'd like you to just take your gaze in one direction. Just keep it there. Bring your awareness inside your rib cage, right side. And send your breath into those muscles. You've got it. You should feel a little tremor through your body. Everything works concurrently. Breathe in to reach back, please. Exhale, extended side angle, and we'll reach over our head today, palm down. And then heart rotates upward. This is a huge stretch. Make sure you're firmly rooted, cemented through your back foot. Breathe out. Breathe in, reverse triangle. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. I'll do one just to show you good form, and then I usually skip the rest. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Breathe in, left leg comes up. Exhale, runner's lunge, so we're outside of our left hand. Breathe in, straighten a lot. Exhale, lunge down and in, ground through your back knee. Breathe in, bend your back knee, left arm up. As we exhale, we'll just put a little pressure on our front left thigh and see what we've got on this side. I think it's Gail that always, has the metaphor of the pistachio cracking open here in runner's lunge. So I always see that kind of like satisfying crack in my mind happen here. Breathe in. Breath out, low lunge. Breathe in, reverse warrior with a tricep stretch. So you've seen me on the other side. You don't need to see me here. I'd like you to think about a really deep indentation in your front thigh, right here, right at your hip crease. Can you make it almost like that L shape, that perfect 90-degree angle? And then bring your mind's eye right behind that left rib cage. How does it feel? Can you expand those little fibers in between the ribs as you breathe? Breathe in. Breath out, extended side angle. Remember our deep version here. So we're here for 5 whole breaths. Almost touch the floor, you could, or a block, and then extend your palm up and overhead, face down. Rotate your heart now. I want you to think about just how big of a stretch this is. I think sometimes we don't think about how amazing this posture is because we do it in every flow. It's quite amazing. Breathe out. Breathe in, reverse triangle. Exhale, chaturanga. I will cue you through sun B, breath to movement. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We will take out the runner's lunge at the beginning. Breathe in, right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Breathe in, reverse warrior. Take up all the space you've got in your home. Exhale, extended side angle. Breathe in, reverse triangle. Exhale, chaturanga. Really harness that breath as you're heating your power. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Breathe in, left leg a little higher now. Exhale through to low lunge with all the power. Breathe in, reverse warrior. And exhale, extended side angle. Breathe in, reverse. And exhale, chaturanga. Breathe in fully and completely. And then let it all go. Once more, each side, bigger. Inhale, right leg. Exhale, lunge. Breathe in, reverse. Exhale, extended side angle. Breathe in, reverse triangle. Really pinch your inner thighs together. Exhale, chaturanga. Breathe in, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. You should be feeling a little bit of that cardio. Inhale, left side. And exhale, lunge. Breath in, reverse, bigger now. Exhale, extended side angle, perhaps deeper now. Breathe in, reverse triangle. And exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Breathe in, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take a beat here, just to feel the breath. I like to look at ancient texts. We have so many of them that are preserved that have all this wisdom saved for us. Everything from the Vedas 6,000 years ago to the Bible 2,000 years ago to Buddhist texts, texts from Jainism, other Hindu texts. We've got things from every sector. So I will share a couple that I came across today. The first was from the book of Matthew, and it says to do unto your neighbor as you would have done to yourself, and to love thy neighbor as thyself, which is really that seeing, like when we say namaste in yoga, of seeing another as made up of what you are as sacred. And there was one other passage from the Bhagavad Gita that says, if you can see the oneness in everyone, that same source, you can never do harm to anyone. Wherever you go, whatever you experience through your senses, keep reminding yourself that it is all part of the same oneness. Begin to recognize the world as a reflection of yourself. Breathe in, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Come with me now. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, single leg, mountain left knee lift. As you exhale, hand to foot pose. Let's breathe here for a moment. So a strap could come in handy, a towel, but really I'm not attached to what kind of shapes that you make here. I would just like you to test your hamstring a little or a lot. And we'll be here for a few breaths. So extend where you would like to extend. You might not watch me because I'm probably teeter-tottering and that's not very good for your balance. Find some innate object within your natural gaze just to rest lightly upon. Awesome. Rebend your knee, please. Inhale to center. As you exhale, let's just take our right hand to our left foot and our left hand to our left hip. Perfect. No need to twist, no need to do anything if you don't want, but you might pump through your leg just a couple of times. Test your hamstring, test your right side body. Just start to notice how everything feels. And then perhaps take a couple of breaths here in this nice extension. Knees can be supple, right? They don't have to lock out. Exhale with me. Breathe in, single leg mountain. And exhale, dancer's pose or a quad stretch. I'm going to take the quad stretch today. It just sounds really nice. You'll get more out of your quad stretch if you pull your heel into your glute. Push your left knee down and away from your hip. Breathe out. Breathe in, single leg mountain. Exhale, prayer twist to your right. Continue your breath. Awesome. Today, I think I'll do an open armed version and loop my top arm back and around. That just feels really nice. And these twists are one of the best, most efficient resets that we can do for our body. So just let these next couple of breaths happen. I'm doing this with you. I've got the sweat equity in it. You should see what's under this. It's quite moist. This room is not cooling down the way I wanted it to. Breathe out. Breathe in, mountain pose. Lift your other leg up. And exhale, hand to foot pose. Breathe. If you would like to work more on hamstring opening, you might find a wall if you're feeling a little off balance. Perhaps you would like to work on balance instead of hamstring, and you come away from the wall. And if the breath has become choppy, bring it back to that infinity loop. Very good posture. If I was there, you would pass manner school, right? Sitting up nice and straight. Exhale. Inhale, bend into your knee. As you exhale, let's switch our grip to our left hand on right hip. And this is good. This is still a balanced posture, yes? But if you would like a little bit more into your tissues and your legs, you could give it a couple pumps. And if it feels okay, settle into a nice stretch. Little dancing Shiva-ish, yeah? If you were to go back in this way. Breathe out. Breathe in, single leg mountain. And exhale, quad stretch or dancer's pose. Let's just take our hip in one more different direction here. I love balance because it's very rare that we can think about anything else while we're trying to balance on one leg. It unifies everything. Everything has to be present. Breathe out. Breathe in, single leg mountain. And exhale, prayer twist to the other side. Let's breathe together. I love this because not only is it like a twist and a detoxification, a purification, but I can really feel something in my upper thoracic spine if I use my bottom arm enough for that torque. Great. Breathe out with me. Breathe in, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, your chaturanga. Breathe in, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in, right leg high. Exhale, runner's lunge. Breathe in, snake your right arm under and around. As you exhale, ground down through your left knee underneath your left hip. Left hand, right leg. Great, and from here, you can either just look through the keyhole to the left, or you can take a couple of pumps up and out. And believe me, if you're like, oh my gosh, my leg is the heaviest thing ever, it's a very, very common obstacle to come up against while trying to come into these positions. Great. Let's come back to runner's lunge. Exhale all of the weight into your left hand, knife edge of foot with right. And as we inhale, we'll just take this to the side. You should look like a cute little crab. If you normally do this, you could do this in full side plank as well. Breathe in. Exhale, low lunge. Breathe in, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Breathe in, reverse triangle. And exhale, triangle pose. Let's breathe here. It's just one subtle difference between this and extended side angle, but it gets into a totally sort of different space. So begin to notice just the little nuances. Breathe out. Breathe in, star. And exhale, skandasana to the back of your space. Let's breathe here for a moment. If this is uncomfortable in any of your joints, I would say do horse with some shoulder dips. No shame in doing something that's a little kinder to your body. I was just talking to a fellow yoga teacher today. He's a few years older than I am, and he just said, oh man, I pushed it too hard for too long, and I'm really paying for it now. And so just to know that sometimes you don't need to go deeper. Sometimes it's those people who don't have to go so deep and still get the benefit who are the lucky ones, yeah? Perfect. Inhale, crawl toward the top of your mat. Exhale, low lunge. Finish this out in a way that feels good for you. I'm going to flip my dog from three-legged dog. And if you've never done it before, you simply land on your right foot. Very simple. Perhaps even broaden through your chest, paint the sky. Breathe in. Breathe out. We all meet in downward dog. Breathe in, left leg lifts. Exhale, runner's lunge again. Breathe in, come underneath your leg. As you exhale, go ahead and bring your right knee underneath your right thigh. The higher up your left knee is, over here on your left shoulder, the better chance you have of actually lifting this foot. But for now, we really don't care if it lifts. We just want to grab that knife edge and make sure we can look under. Big side body stretch, right? Open up all that lymph and the lymphatics that we need for this season. Perfect. Maybe you give it a few pumps, look through the keyhole. Getting into every space, our hips, our hammies, our shoulders, hopefully awakening up just a little bit of creativity in the mind space. Awesome. Let's come out and set up for side plank on the other side. Left hand, left knife edge of foot. And then we'll just ground down and open up. And even if you wanted to keep this foot up, but you didn't want to bind, really just find something that serves you here. Hollow out your bottom armpit. I should be able to like fit a spaghetti squash in that space. Breathe in. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Breathe in, reverse triangle. Here's our change. Exhale, triangle pose. Take a beat. Settle in. Breathe out. Breathe in star pose. And exhale Skandasana to your second side. Right now I am reading the Tao Te Ching, which is just full of great tidbits of information from wisdom's past. And there was a quote that really resonated. It says, empty your mind of all thoughts. Let your heart be at peace. Watch the turmoil of all beings, but contemplate their return. Each separate being in the universe returns to the common source, because returning to your source is serenity. If you don't realize your source, you will stumble rather in confusion and sorrow. But when you realize where you come from, you naturally become tolerant, disinterested, and amused. You can deal with whatever life brings you. Take an exhale. Breathe in, halfway lift toward the top of your mat. And exhale, low lunge. Finish this out in a way that feels ideal for you, whether you want to bend, twist, open. Awesome. Very nice. Then drop down. Go ahead. If you have like little beads of sweat coming down your face, like I do, you could towel them off if they're annoying you. And then just congratulate yourself for doing this home practice. Home practice is hard. I have a vibrant home practice right now, but I'm telling you, it takes dedication. So I just want to say I'm really proud of you for sticking with it and for still being on this part of this video. Nice job. Okay, so I am not going to make any sort of bones about what we're getting to today. We're going to infinity pose. Infinity pose is kind of fun because when we loop around, it just means that perhaps, say, there's so many different versions of it, but if my hands are on my feet, I've looped all of my energy lines around back to each other. And thus, they're just in a continuous loop of wholeness, of oneness, of delight, okay? So just even being here could be an infinity pose. So don't overthink it. Happy baby is an infinity pose. We might get a little fancier and you'll need a sense of humor today, okay? Cool. That being said, I think that we should play before we get there because once we get on our backs, we will stay on our backs. I would like for the last week to work on finessing some finer details in crow pose to headstand because I've seen a lot of people have some great success with it and I want to make sure that you've got it too. So one of the things that you can work on if you're having trouble getting there, which why don't I just demonstrate and then I'll give you that. What we'll do is come into crow pose, really dig in with your fingers. If you were to zoom in on my fingers, you'd see like big ugly knuckles. And then from here, we'll hinge forward, get our little hang time, and then smell the earth, tuck our chin, land on the top of our head for tripod headstand. Okay, and bringing that into any variety that you would like today. Now, if you're having trouble getting your head close to the ground to have that happen, perhaps you start in tripod headstand if that's easier for you, and try to rock back into crow, which, let's see if I've got this today. You would need your spongy fingers for. Rock your tailbone down and then simply come up and look at the earth. It's like a slow motion come out of that, okay? So I'd like you to pause your video, get your remote. It's like if you're like my mom and you watch it on your big TV, which is so smart, I should hook mine up. Just pause right here and I'd like you to work on just really slowly being your architect. Make sure there's no expensive vases, no children or pets nearby, and have a couple minutes of playtime. Okay, awesome. Well, I hope that went well. If not, comment, tell me what you're struggling with, and perhaps we can like clinic from afar, okay? Okay, come all the way down. Let's go ahead and take half straddle pose. Left leg is out, and right leg is back so that you've got this L shape. Sneak your ankle, if it's in like this, out further, and you'll get just a little bit more pressure on this femur bone downward toward the hip socket. Just sit up nice and tall. I feel a pretty good sensation here already, but you're welcome to lean in any direction where you feel more sensation. For a lot of people, that'll be right, perhaps back a little bit. Just let your breath begin to settle once more. Exhale with me. Breathe in. Drag your knee back into your chest. As you exhale, set up for Janu Sirsasana, head to knee pose. Breathe in. And exhale, reach actively towards your foot. Continue to breathe. If you need to lasso it with a dish towel, awesome. But it's kind of cool because as I continue to learn, we've got all of these like fascial chains, right? We're one continuous web of connective tissue. And one of the main ones runs all the way from your plantar fascia, up the backs of your legs, all the way up your spine and through to the top of your head. So isn't it kind of cool how like a little bit of tug here can possibly promote some sort of change anywhere else up that chain. Breathe out. Breathe in, right arm high. Exhale, post up behind you. Breathe in. Let's just take a big old back bend and some circle arms here, almost like you're doing a backstroke. Breathe in with me. Breathe out, come all the way down. Half straddle pose, second side, please. And really the angle at which you set yourself up is going to dictate how effective or how beneficial this posture is for you. So be particular about your angles. And again, if it's painful, like I always say, don't do it. Perhaps sit up on a block to lessen the angles of the hips. And let's just settle in for a moment. Notice the breath. I can even feel my heartbeat without even having my hand on my chest. It's interesting because I first came to yoga because I decided I needed to do some form of exercise at some point in my life so that I could maintain good health. But I ended up staying for mental health purposes, spiritual purposes, because I identified with these ancient philosophies that somehow aligned with what I had thought since I was a child. And so as I thought I was working on yoga, yoga was actually working on making every other part of me whole. Such a brilliant system. Exhale. Slowly inhale, knee draws back inward. Exhale, prep for Janu Sirsasana. Breathe in and exhale. Come on down, lasso that foot, catch it. And perhaps just play with, how does it feel different to flex or point? Two more breaths. Heart reaches away from hips. And breathe out. Breathe in. Sit up tall, left arm high. Exhale, ground down. Breathe in, big old back bend here. Swimmer stroke backward. Breathe in. Breath out, come all the way down. Awesome. From here, we'll just take like little crab legs, okay? Like your little crab on the beach. And I'd like you to swing your right hand under and around your right knee. Left hand, right foot. Let's just do our little keyholes a couple of times and see how we're feeling there. We're prepping for infinity pose. And remember, it's a success even if you stay in happy baby. Good. Let's try the other side. If you feel like you need longer arms, a strap. Cool. Come all the way down to your back. Let's roll onto one side for a quad stretch here. And I just want to say this is a balanced posture in disguise. So if you feel a little wobbly, don't worry about it. It's totally supposed to happen. Dig down through your bottom hip. And if you need more stability, bend your bottom knee. More surface area there. Great. Let's do the other side. Up and over. So I think yoga and life in general is more fun if we're unattached to outcome, right? We're fine no matter what. So I would like you to unadhere yourself from what's actually going to happen during this infinity pose. I'll invite you to your back now. And to just start in happy baby. Look at you, you're a success. Amazing. Okay, now if you'd like to have a little bit of fun with me, cool, let's just try some things on unattached to outcome. And you will probably have better success if you listen to my cues rather than look at me on the tape, because there's a lot of lefts and rights, and I'm not sure if that will be advantageous for you to look at me, okay? You can look at me maybe in the full posture. Okay, you can stay here, or if you're ready to try something different in infinity pose, please take your, let's see, let's do it this way. Let's take your left hand to your right knife edge of foot, and then cross so that your right arm is on top for your left knife edge of foot. Cool, you can bend your knees here. Now, as you bend your right knee out to the right, you will straighten into your left leg and start to roll onto your right side body. Cool, so we got that there, infinity pose. And that's the worst that's gonna happen, you're gonna come back onto your back. So again, I have my right arm closer to my face than the left. As I bend my right knee out to the side, I start to straighten through my left leg, and then I look over and under. Cool, come onto your back. Let all your binds go. Come into some sort of shavasana or windshield wiper your knees. That's a huge stretch for your side bodies, okay? So, take a moment, recalibrate. And then let's do the other side. See how much success I have over here. I don't know. Okay, right arm first, and then left arm on top this time. Cool, left arm closer to your face. Left knee starts to spin down and around. Right leg straightens, and as it does, perhaps you roll onto your left side body for infinity. How's the breath? How's the attitude? Awesome. Coming on back now, when you're ready, in your own time. Great work. We'll end with just a little bit of core today before we settle on down. So I would like you to take Supta Baddha Konasana through your legs, soles of your feet. Really hug in. On your breath in, go ahead and push your feet together. As you exhale, reach all the way up. Now pause at the top, lift your tailbone. Lift, lift, lift everything. So it looks almost like cat pose for your back. Inhale, release. Exhale, scoop everything up and together. And then just continue breath to movement here. One breath at a time. You've got this. I know you do. And I'm going to check the time so I don't go over on you either. Perfect. I get a little bit more work out of it if I lift my feet on the exhale. And so that could be a nice up level as well. And I want you to know that a lot of people do these videos at different times than you. It might be a different time, but they're putting in the sweat equity too. All around Des Moines, Kansas City. Some people are watching us in different states. I have someone who watches from a different country. And so know that there is a community, even though you can't see them right now, that are still doing this with you right now. You are not alone. There is the Power Life community here. We will finish with 2 rounds of bridge or wheel if you're feeling really feisty and it's already in your practice. So set yourself up now, plant your feet, take an exhalation, and breathe in for bridge pose. And for these 5 breaths, we'll just work on expansion. So how long can you make your bridge from knees up through chest? Breathe in. Breathe out slowly, lower all the way down. Something neutralizing, and then take one more pass, something that feels a little bit more joy sparking, that really celebrates the fact that in this present moment, you are here and able to do all of these things. Take a big breath in and breathe out, lower all the way back down. Let's take figure 4 on our right. So you'll be on your back, right ankle over, and then just tether everything in. The closer you get your shin bone to your chest, the more sensation you might feel. And I'll invite you to listen to a little bit of what author Damian Mark Smith has to say. We're one. We've always been one. We'll always be one until we think we are not. And herein lies our challenge. We are but one until we think we are separate. We have forgotten our oneness. As a result of forgetting, we create an illusionary world of duality, which leads to suffering. All disagreements, conflicts, and wars are due to the mistaken belief that we are separate. When we realize we are one, who or what is there to fight against? Dump into a nice gentle twist, legs to the left, gaze neutral or to the right. And just to start to feel that connection again, to maybe delabel things. As humans, we like to compartmentalize good, bad, left, right, up, down, small, big, all these things, right, wrong. At some point, it's kind of nice to just let everything be as it is, to delabel, to let the alchemy of all these different, what we think are separate parts, come together and heal. Let's take figure 4 on our second side. Perhaps taking a moment to really dial into what sensation you want on this side. How deep do you need to go? I'm always a big fan of a gentle rock to and fro. And then just to make this really nice supine twist shape, when you feel even through your figure 4s. It is rare that our minds and our bodies are in the same place at any given time. We're always ruminating, remembering, planning, thinking, and that's great. But this time, just these last few moments of this class, I'll ask you to think about letting yourself be here, completely here. So think about one thing that is real in this moment, whether it's the sounds in your home, that figure 8 breath, whatever it is, cling onto it. And in a moment, when you shift into Shavasana, you'll stay just with that one thing, letting it anchor you, letting it hold all of the koshas of thyself together in this moment. When you're ready for Shavasana, come into your seat, your lying down position. Feel symmetrical, supported. Take a huge breath in and exhale completely. Trust that I will be here in just one moment to bring you out and get you on with your day. Roger Gabriel says, imagine that you're the whole universe. You live in total joy and bliss. Imagine there is no past or future, only now. Imagine there is no space or time, just an unbound eternity. Imagine endless peace, harmony, and unconditional love. Imagine no fear and equality in all things. This is oneness. I want to thank you for being a part of our community, of your community, and for taking care of yourself and thus everything here today. Namaste. Have a great week, everybody. I hope I see you very, very soon. Take care.